That should be everything all checking in. Alright, yep, we are all good to go. Alright, so cars are already rolling a little bit late to the stream. I apologize. I was busy getting a couple of things set up because I was just getting home from work, and yeah, I was also changing over the stream stuff from the Thomas Cup Series broadcast on Thursday night. So, all right, we are all set. We are ready to go, and yeah, we got ourselves an 82 lap race here today. Hopefully, you guys are excited. I know I certainly am. All right, there we go. Alright, so thank you guys for everybody that is tuning in. Again, we are here for the Watkins Glen Mission 200 here at Watkins Glen. Alright, they're showing the playoff cut line, and it is almost certainly a Sammy Smith playoff spot for that final playoff spot, barring a new winner today. But yeah, Ryan Sieg, the only driver outside the playoffs that can actually point their way in. The rest would all need to win their way in, and even for Ryan Sieg, it would take a miracle run to end up getting him into the playoffs on points. That doesn't mean impossible, that just means unlikely. So here we go, and we are all set up. My pick for the race, by the way, figure I'll try and make a pre-race pick, as I almost always try and do. I'm going to go with connorzilisch, pole sitter. He's looked very fast in races earlier this year. I think there's very little reason not to be confident in him. Now, there are some other great drivers in this field. Ty Gibbs on the outside of the front row is one of them. Alright, there we go. And here we go. We are settling in. Lights are off on the pace car. Lights are off on the pace car, which means we will be going green this time by. And yeah, we are here and ready to go. Let me go ahead and get the chat over here so I can actually read it without having to constantly be on the stream. And here we go. Again, this field of cars here coming down to the start of the race, they are getting bunched up and ready to go, and the pace car is off, leaving the field in the hands of Zilisch and Gibbs. You got Allmendinger and Allgaier in row number 2, and it is going to be green flag is out. We are back to racing here. First race of the week, or first streamed race of the weekend here at Watkins Glen. connorzilisch was able to pick up the win over in the ARCA series earlier in the week. Earlier in the weekend with a 15-second margin of victory over William Sawalich, who we have seen race for Toyota in the Truck Series. He was driving a Joe Gibbs car yesterday and still wasn't able to stay within 15 seconds. And there we go. Zilisch through the first set of corners there, through the S's, and he has now got himself a couple of car lengths lead. Ty Gibbs down into the bus stop. Gonna try and see if he can outbrake him, but it's gonna be really tough through this bus stop. They did add in some new higher curbing to potentially try and ward against people for abusing the curb. So here we go. Two SHR teammates fighting with each other for position there. And again, this is this is only lap 1. We've got a 20 lap first stage here, and again, there will be stage cautions in. So at the end of that 20 laps, we will see a green and white checkered flag get thrown and some points being awarded. But I would anticipate if any of these drivers are looking for the win, for them to potentially flip that strategy by pitting just before the caution flag flies or before the stage, and with 2 laps to go. And here we go, SVG. Shane Van Gisbergen starting a little further back today. I believe he may have even had a penalty and had to go to the rear of the field looking at how far back he is. But he's starting to make his way up to the field. Starting to try and get on the charge here. Let's see, where is SVG up to? He is up to 26. So yeah, he almost certainly had to. Yeah, he definitely either had an issue on lap 1, which they didn't show, which would be surprising, or he had a pre-race penalty that sent him to the rear of the field. I did not get a chance to see the pre-race penalty list, so to wait and see. But here we go. And again, these drivers, they are fighting hard here. You've got Chandler Smith and AJ Allmendinger trying to fight it out for the for what position is that? Fourth. And yeah, again, Chandler Smith, he drove that car last year when he had a really good season. Not able to find a win, I don't think. Oh no, he won a race last year. But yeah, right now though, the battle for the lead, that's the one we are most interested in, and Ty Gibbs is keeping it really close to the 88 of Zilich. There's a Zilich gonna try and keep that lead as good as he can. And let's see, William Byron is in the number 17 Hendrick Motorsports car today, so a potential assistance to the 88. And here we go. Let's see. Again, through the bus stop, that's the best chance for a driver to try and close in and outbrake the 88 of Sawalich. These braking zones are going to be crucial throughout the day because realistically, a braking zone is your best shot to pass them, because through the S's, where you're on the throttle almost the entire time, that's a very hard place to try and gain time. Well, it's not necessarily a hard place to gain time, but it's a hard place to find a room to pass, as there's really one good line, one half a lane, and then there's a dirt the rest of it. So here we go. Again, Ty Gibbs, all he needs to do really right now is to stay close. Meanwhile, guys like AJ Allmendinger have already lost nearly 4 seconds off the lead. Man. Alright, welcome everyone in, everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. If you guys are, of course, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new. Man. Oh, man. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. You got William Byron and Sam Mayer fighting for position through the bus stop, it looks like. Yep, there we go. William Byron up into the 6th position, and Byron going to start to set sail, see if he can maybe catch Chandler Smith and AJ Allmendinger here before the end of the lap. If he isn't able to catch him by the end of the lap, maybe that big turn 1 braking zone, it's a massive braking zone, big chance for Byron to maybe outbrake there. But yeah, no idea why the TV broadcast keeps showing Byron and Mayer as flip-flopping when Mayer is not alongside him at this point. Alright. So here we go. They're highlighting Jesse Love, who is working his way through this field. Oh, there we go. Ryan Sieg up to 14th. Ryan Sieg to 14th. Again, Ryan Sieg absolutely just trying to put on whatever kind of move he can to try and potentially earn this playoff spot. 44 points is nearly impossible in only 2 races left. But it's not impossible, and it's not impossible without winning a race. Because if the only way to point his way there would be to win the race for points, then you might as well just call yourself a must-win. But yeah, he needs to gain an average of 22 points per race, and then it would come down to tiebreakers. If you can gain 23 points per race, you'll have the points lead, and you will be in, and he would be in the playoffs there between himself and Smith. But yeah, so here we go. We are just let me go ahead and get the actual photo in the background updated, because there we go. We got ourselves a wow. We got ourselves a lot of people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody that is hanging out in the chat. All right. So there we go. And here we go. Let's see. Parker Kligerman, that's a big news story. He announced earlier this week that this would be his final year of full-time racing. I don't know if that's because Big Machine Racing has somebody else they want to put in the 48, or if that's because Parker Kligerman just feels like he's hit his mid-30s, he's ready to go to a full-time broadcasting role at NBC, or maybe NBC just wants him in a full-time role as a pit reporter slash reporter around the grandstands. But yeah, so Parker Kligerman, he is likely going to make the Xfinity Series playoffs. He's got a 71 point advantage over that cut line. And if he can just maintain that kind of advantage, he will lock in after this week, and he'll be able to relax at Bristol and go into the playoffs with a head of steam. Alright, so there we go. Now they go to a commercial break, and we are at the first commercial of the day. So hopefully everybody is having a good time. If you guys are, of course, hit the like button. We got 8 people already liked it. But yeah, we were just chilling here. Hopefully everybody is having a good time. There we go. But yeah, SVG marching his way through the field. Let's see how high up he is. I'd like to have a second leaderboard. Let's get the one that I can actually scroll up and down on. But yeah, who do you guys think's going to win the race? Feel free to let me know. I'm curious to see where everybody thinks, who thinks some of these guys. So SVG is already up to 21st here. He is marching his way through the field. So yeah, SVG, he is certainly not going to be shy about trying to make his way up into that top 10. Alright, so there we go. So yeah, we are just chilling out, and hopefully everybody is having a good time today. Of course, we got the NASCAR Cup Series race tomorrow. For those of you guys who play the NASCAR Fantasy app, or for those of you guys who are interested in joining the NASCAR Fantasy app, I do have a league over there. Link is in the description, or should be in the description if it isn't already. Let me go ahead and check real quick, see if the link is in the description. Yep, top link in the description leads to my fantasy league. And yeah, if you guys want to compete against me over in that, there is still time to get in before Watkins Glen, so we have got ourselves a pretty good league going over there. Alright, there we go. Now let's go ahead and actually properly update the background as we are coming back from commercial break. So let's get this done quick. And alright, there we go. That looks good. And here we go. Alright, so back from commercial break. Sammy Smith in 16th place here. Meanwhile, Ryan Sieg only one spot ahead. Sammy Smith doing everything he needs to try and put himself in position for that 12th playoff spot. And again, he does not care where he actually finishes as long as he makes that playoffs, because once the playoffs get here, it resets. Now, obviously, if he were to win a race, that would make all this easier, but as of right now, Sammy Smith is probably more focused on the playoffs. Well, if a second or a third is good enough, I would question how aggressively he would go for the lead. Also, speaking of the lead, Connorzilisch has now expanded that gap between himself and Ty Gibbs to 2.5 seconds and growing. Allgaier in third is now 3.5 seconds back. Allmendinger 7.5 seconds back as he is continuing to try and hold off Mayer and Byron. As both Mayer and Byron have made the pass on Chandler Smith here in the last couple of laps. Alright, so yeah, as of right now, though, they are... everybody's kind of single-filed out and just kind of trying to run them down, trying to find the right spot to pass. And also trying to not end up taking somebody out when you try and go for a pass, as that is about the worst way to go and end somebody else's night. If you try and go for a pass and it fails. So there we go. Off the final corner, and it is going to be 3 seconds back for Ty Gibbs at the line that last time by. 3 seconds is the gap now. It was 2.5. It's now full 3, and we are now officially halfway through stage number 1 as we are starting to really click these laps off pretty quick here. Alright, let's see. I've also got a buddy at the track that I can get some Alright, so yeah, right now though, Zilich is absolutely just putting on a full court press here. 3.5 seconds now between himself and Gibbs. Again, that's just in one lap. He's basically gapped him about half a second, and I mean Gibbs just cannot keep up. Barring an incident here for connorzilisch, it is going to be a absolute monster day for him. And the question is, can anybody else really keep up? Alright, so now Ryan C. currently in his 10th Watkins Glen race. He's never finished higher than about 13th, and right now he runs in the 15th position. So that is not exactly a hopeful position there when you need to try and make up about 44 points, including this race here today. Alright. So yeah, I mean, again, Allgaier and Gibbs just... There is something different about Zilich that he is just completely breezing away from the field. Kind of feels like when we saw Shane Van Gisbergen show up to the street course for the first time. It has that same kind of feeling. Alright, here we go. Let's see. And are they going to another commercial break already? That seems really short space of time for another commercial break. Granted, would not... Oh, no, they are not going to a commercial break. Okay. Thought they were, but here we go. Let's see. We got 35 people now hanging out in chat. Again, let me know who you guys think's going to win. I would love to hear your guys' opinion as to who you guys think's going to win this race. I think it's pretty safe to say Zilich at this point. 5 seconds is the gap between Zilich and Gibbs. Now, granted, Gibbs has been run down by Justin Allgaier. Allgaier going to try and see if he can pass Gibbs. But Justin Allgaier, while he was running down Gibbs, wasn't able to run down Zilich all that much. And, oh, Riley Herbst blows through the bus stop. And there we go. Riley Herbst blows through the bus stop and will have to rejoin the field in 13th. Alright, there we go. Let's see. So yeah, right now they're working their way through this one. Alright, so yeah, right now... Alright, let's see. Riley Herbst coming into the inner loop, and yeah, he just locked up the brakes and just didn't feel like he could make it into the corner, so he opts to evade the corner and go right over the middle of it. I mean, fair enough to him. No, you kind of just do what you have to at that point to try and avoid a crash, and you avoided a crash. And there we go. Now it looks like they're setting up for a commercial break here with 7 laps to go. It is going to be a side-by-side commercial break, but I am going to go ahead and use the bathroom real quick, so I'm going to run an ad, and I will be right back, guys. And we are back from the commercial break. Or, well, I'm back from the commercial break. But, yeah, 5 laps to go in the series. But the race is still at side-by-side here. Again, Ty Gibbs getting run down by Allgaier here. Allgaier trying to brake as late as he possibly can here, trying to run down Gibbs. And it seems to be working again. He seems to be getting closer, but I think the bigger thing to note is just how big that first place gap is. It's 6. It's about to be 7 laps here. Let's see. What's it going to be here? Alright, let's see. Here we go. Again, right in the corner. My buddy who's at the track is saying that Gibbs' clutch is overheating, which is not a good thing if you know what a clutch does in a race car here. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. Again, 7.8 back right now. They are going to be 8 seconds back here before they know it. And again, Allgaier trying to stay as close to Ty Gibbs as he can, but is just has not been able to find room to make the pass here. We're going to be coming to 3 laps to go. This would be the time where I would expect to see most of these guys potentially peel off towards the pits. Especially the ones who don't really need points. Let's see. Kligerman dropping back. Uh-oh. Possible transmission issues for Parker Kligerman on the 48 team. Oh, please don't be having a problem. Something's broken. No. Something's broken. There we go. Gibbs, Allmendinger coming to pit road. Allgaier, Chandler Smith, Amarola opt to stay out so far. Creed, Custer staying out. Jesse Love stays out, and that's going to be Herp staying out as well. Sieg stays out to get into the top 10. Jeremy Clements takes over the final spot inside the top 10 there. Alright, so there we go. And now we've got a very split field here as to what they want to do for the remainder of the race here. Alright, there we go. Green flag stop. 17 seconds there for Austin Hill. 17.9 for Jones. A 16.7 there for Shane Van Gisbergen. A 20-second pit stop there for Austin Green. Oh boy, and right now Connor Zilisch has nobody anywhere near him. Could probably pit and still be only like second or third maybe. But Zilisch wants to go ahead and show off the race win here. Alright, so yeah, right now though, Connor Zilisch is just putting an absolute has just been putting down an absolute beat down here on the field so far. A 10-second gap between Allgaier and Zilisch in the lead. 8:23.11, how's it going? Alright, there we go. That's the Denny fan, yep. Hey, I like the name. And there we go. Oh, a little bit of contact maybe between the 19 and the 97 there. Ty Gibbs coming out of his pits, and SVG still looking to go into his pits at that point when the contact was made. And let's see, final lap has begun here, and let's see. All right, let's see. I see. Yeah, right now though, Zilisch, he's coming. Oh, Connor Zilisch is right on the back bumper. He could lap Shane Van Gisbergen here. That would be big. He's going to the outside. He's going to try and outbrake SVG into the bus stop. And SVG is going to come through the bus stop as the lead driver there. That's actually big. There is no doubt there that is massive here. Connorzilisch not able to get around SVG. SVG starting to gap him just a little bit. 2 corners to go. Can SVG hold on, or will Zilisch find a way around? Looks like Zilisch is going to let him get around turns 3 and 4, or at least SVG is going to escape as a part of the lead lap. Zilisch wins stage number 1, and he has got himself the massive lead here. So there we go. The rest of the top 5, you got Allgaier, Amarola, Chandler Smith, Sheldon Creed as they come across the line. And then you got Cole Custer, Jesse Love, Riley Herbst, Ryan Sieg, and Jeremy Clements. And oh no, Chandler Smith's car is spewing some kind of steam. But yeah, something tells me that that car spewing water is not a good thing here. Alright, so here we go. Again, thank you guys for everybody that has decided to spend at least part of your afternoon here with me. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, and we are going to be getting ready for this one. Let's see. So yeah, this first stage is an absolute beatdown for Connorzilisch. Like, there is no questions there. Alright, there we go. And just double checking in. Again, wow, we are absolutely on fire here. Alright. Also, quick reminder that, there won't be a whole lot of content this week in between the two. I would expect maybe a video either Wednesday evening or Thursday at the earliest for some kind of midweek video. I don't have anything pre-recorded, and I will be driving down to Bristol for the Bristol race. So, I will be unavailable for about 14 or so hours as I drive down there, and we'll be stopping somewhere along the way, so basically a day and a half. So we'll have to wait and see, but if you guys are going to be hungry for content and you guys like video games, I do have some videos pre-recorded that are scheduled to be going up over on my gaming channel during the week that I will be gone, so there won't be a lack of content over there. So if you guys like the gaming content, I do have a link in the description to my gaming channel. But for the most part, though, I understand that gaming and sports are two very different avenues, unless it's like Madden or NASCAR Heat 5, when it comes to sports overlapping with video games. But hey, you know what? You can never go wrong with a good Pokemon game. At least in my opinion. But here we go. Let's see. Where are we at? Double checking some things. Did not mean to do that. Alright. Wow, we are up a couple subscribers here as well. Thank you guys for everybody that has subscribed here today. I think we're up 2 or 3 subscribers already. Alright, come on. There we go. That's the button I meant to click. And, once again, NASCAR will be at Bristol next weekend. We will be there in person for ARCA, Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. A 4-race spectacle. as a Dale Jr. in the NASCAR Xfinity Series race next week. That is going to be amazing. Can't wait for that. Let's see, who else? Don't know of any other people that are going to be in that race. Definitely going to be hanging around the track, seeing who we might be able to run into at the track. Personally, if we end up running into Dale Jr., that would be amazing. But I highly doubt Dale Jr. is just going to be walking around, especially considering I'm sure he's got plenty of media appearances to make. But there we go. We got a massive pool of water on the screen, and there we go. Here comes connorzilisch coming to pit road. He is not going to be the leader of the race when we come for the second stage, so it'll be curious to see how he looks in traffic here, as most of the field coming down onto the pit road. Mainly these are the people who did not pit previously. Zilisch, Allgaier, Almirola, the first three. Almirola almost immediately into his pit box there. Allgaier finds his pit box, and Zilich's pit box is going to be way down at the end as he was the pole sitter of the race. And there we go. Finds his pit stall right near the end. And it's alright, Almirola's away with a pit stop. They aren't showing the times for whatever reason. Allgaier's out of his pit box as well. But again, the question is, can Zilisch get out first here? Alright, let's see. Again, right now, there we go. Watching the number 8 car of Sammy Smith. And that pit stop looks really slow. And there we go. Allgaier, Custer, Creed, the first three off the pit road. Zilisch loses 5 places on pit road. Almirola losing 1. Herbst gains 2. Ryan Sieg gains a spot on pit road. Jesse Love loses 2. Clements goes flat. And Joey Logano gains 3 spots on pit road thanks to the AM Racing crew there. Alright, so there we go. Pretty good, pretty good. Alright, let's see. Alright, there we go. Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody is having a good time. We are currently getting ready to start stage number 2 here. 23XI, who do you think's winning the race? Since you're actually hanging out in the chat. Do we think Zilisch gets it done? Do we think somebody else comes up from the rear to steal it from him? Alright, let's see. Again, right now, so far Zilisch has been absolutely lights out on the field, but we are about to see him in traffic for the first time, so. Alright, so yeah, we are just chilling out, having some fun. And again, waiting for the commercial break to get done. And the biggest thing is we're going to have to wait and see. There we go. As they cross the line, Ty Gibbs, Allmendinger, William Byron. Going to be the front three as they are cycling across the leaders. Alright, there we go. Alright, so there we go. back from the commercial break, and here we go. Let's see. Chandler Smith comes into the pit stall, and yep, there goes up the hood on Chandler Smith's car. That is a major disappointment there for Chandler Smith. You never want to see the hood going up on a race car, especially not one that has looked as fast as Chandler Smith's did early in this race. Same thing with the 8 car. They are looking in the car, looking for something there. Alright, let's see. So yeah, Sammy Smith does end up having an issue here on the car that could end up propelling himself into the that could end up propelling himself out of the playoffs and potentially giving Ryan Sieg his opportunity to try and fight his way in. Again, 44 points is what Sieg needs to gain over this race and next week. Not going to be an easy task to try and claw back that many points, but a loss of some points here would definitely cost him. And you know what? Let's go ahead and see if we can get the points as they run up in the corner here, because I think that would actually prove pretty useful here. Let's see, Ryan Sieg versus Sammy. Oh, alright, so that is roughly where I need to go. Let's see, go ahead and put that there. Let's see. Nope. Okay, so I need the chat higher up. Alright, there we go. Now let's go ahead and going to go ahead and just basically make a copy of the leaderboard, so I can go ahead and boost this one up. Oh nope, did not mean for that to go full screen. Alright. Oh. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, getting live standings going as we go. Green, green, green. Green flag is out, and they are back to racing. Okay, did not realize they were ready to go back racing yet. Alright, so here we go. As they settle out again, Ty Gibbs was your leader on the restart. Allmendinger passed him into 1 and will be going down the back straightaway as your race leader as he leads through the S's here. And they are still 2 and 3 wide here as they head into the bus stop. Most of them down to 2 wide as they go through the bus stop, and it looks like they're leaning towards single file, which is good because you do not want to be on the outside of 2 wide when you get to this carousel. And there we go. Coming through the final 2 corners, can Ty Gibbs, the final 2 corners to complete this first lap here, can Ty Gibbs find a way around Allmendinger? Is Allmendinger going to just be able to hold him off here? Alright, here we go. Let's see. Alright, now they are SVG up into the top 7 after he manages to fight to stay on the lead lap in this first stage. Again, William Byron hanging on to the top 3 and going to be attempting to try and attack Ty Gibbs if he gets a moment without the 1 car pestering him from behind. Alright, so yeah, right now though, they're settling in. The double-duty drivers, you got Allmendinger, Byron, Chastain, Gibbs, Logano, and SVG all running the doubleheader this weekend. So AJ and SVG will both be in tomorrow's race, along with obviously your Cup regulars who are in today's race. And yeah, it looks like it should be a pretty good one here. But yeah, they're talking about trying to outbreak AJ Allmendinger. Definitely not an easy thing to do. Somewhat easy to say, it's a lot harder to do here. Alright, let's see. Alright, come on. Alright, there we go. Got the Alright, let's go ahead and shrink these down because I do not need these things all the way up. Alright, and there we go. We got the points battle there. Yeah, so that is going to be your points battle between Sammy Smith and let's see. So that's the points battle figured out. Gonna see if I can make it a little bit wider here. Alright, so there we go. That should be a good view there for you guys. Alright, so again, AJ Allmendinger, he's been able to fend off Ty Gibbs so far for the lead. Yeah, Ty Gibbs, though, keeping it very close to AJ, not allowing AJ to run away the same way he ended up allowing the 88 to run away early in the race. And there we go, Connorzilisch entering the picture. I believe he's inside the top 10. Hard to see when they aren't showing who's in the top 10. Yep, Zilisch up to 9th. Connorzilisch up to 9th place here. He is on a charge, and he is going to be looking for that top spot here soon. But, yep, there we go. Laps led on road courses. 447 there for AJ Allmendinger. Leads virtually every imaginable stat at road courses here. And right now, Sammy Smith only holds a 19-point lead over Ryan Sieg if the race were to finish exactly how it is right now, which would have, I believe, Ryan Sieg in just a random position because Sieg is not inside the top 10. But with Sammy Smith in 37th, that leads to a lot of positions gained here for Sieg, no matter where he finishes, really. Alright, let's see. So again, right now we're closing in on halfway through this second stage already. Working our way through this one pretty quick. Hopefully everybody's enjoying it. Still, if you guys are, of course, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new. We've been doing these streams all season long. No intention of stopping them anytime soon. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. And right now, this points battle is going to be intense going into Bristol. If it's, let's say, Ryan Sieg manages to find 10, 15 spots here, and they have like a 4-point gap going into Bristol, that would be legitimately insane. As William Byron got around Ty Gibbs, and now he's looking to go around Allmendinger. AJ Allmendinger drops to second here as William Byron will take the lead. And William Byron, he's my pick for Sunday. William Byron's my pick to win the race tomorrow, and yeah, it's kind of odd that he ends up being the driver that ends up passing the 16 of Allgaier that quickly. And oh wow, there's a big stack up there behind Allmendinger. Ty Gibbs not able to really find any kind of room around the outside of Not able to find any room really to make any kind of attempted pass on a SVG. And oh no, Leland Honeyman Jr. is spun around, and that is not sure what part of the track that's at. I thought the bus stop, but the curbs don't look nearly colorful enough for for it to be that. All right, let's see. Alright, so yeah, and wow, okay, Leland Honeyman Jr. just outbraked himself there. That wasn't even anybody else, that was just himself. Alright, there we go. And let's see, again, watching this battle where, Byron ends up getting underneath Allmendinger. Allmendinger gets on those brakes really late, but ends up pushing wide here. And William Byron ends up hanging just a little bit lower, about 2-3 feet beneath him. And now you've got Ty Gibbs once again beating the back bumper off of A.J. Allmendinger's car as he tries to go by. Allmendinger goes wide, going to allow Ty Gibbs to get through. And now Ty Gibbs can try and run back down William Byron, but now he's got a 2-second deficit already. Alright, there we go. Let's see. Alright, let's see again. Right now, the 19 just bullies his way by that 16 car, and they are going to commercial break. Alright, let's see. So again, right now, Ryan Sieg not overly close to Sammy Smith there, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright, let's see. Alright, well, we're doing alright here. Hopefully everybody is having a good time. And I say, also, let me, how about this? Let's see. Who do you guys think wins the race tomorrow? Do we think it's going to be a Hendrick Motorsports driver, Joe Gibbs driver? Do we think maybe Kyle Busch does it? Do we think Penske gets back-to-back wins? And do we think Harrison Burton validates why he's in the playoffs? Because so far in the first round he was close, but alright, let's see. Alright, getting some good old chocolate milk in me, and yeah, we are getting ready again for the end of stage number 2 as we are closing in on the final laps. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. Alright, so yeah, right now we're just chilling here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. And coming back from the commercial break should be good. Oh yeah, thank you NASCAR for actually reminding me. Let's go ahead and grab our NASCAR fan reward points for the week. And for those of you guys who don't know, I guess I'll do a quick promo for them. The NASCAR fan reward points are a free reward system that you can go ahead and get points for NASCAR just by opening the app and checking the leaderboard during a race. And you can build those points up towards cool rewards like being able to get autograph merchandise, race tickets, and a whole lot more. So all you have to do is have the NASCAR app, which I think most anybody watching a NASCAR stream probably has the NASCAR app. So let me just go ahead and log into my account and yeah, go ahead and get myself my free 50 points. So here we go into the corner. Let's see. All right, this is on board with AJ Allmendinger, who is currently in third place and really struggling, it seems. Alright, so yeah, right now Sieg is showing a 20-point disadvantage to Sammy Smith. And with Sammy Smith probably out of the race, that means it's entirely based on where Ryan Sieg finishes. If Ryan Sieg is able to finish higher up the field, that'll make that a smaller gap. And if he finishes lower down the field, obviously, it'll be a bigger gap. Alright, went and got my 50 points. Probably not a milestone or anything, I would assume. Ooh, best average finish at Watkins Glen with a minimum of at least 10 starts. I don't actually know the answer to this question, because there is actually a trivia question you guys can answer for bonus points. Let's see. Alright, so here we go. 4 laps to go. William Byron holds a near 3-second lead over Ty Gibbs for that spot. I think Byron probably holds on for the stage finish here. We'll have to wait and see, but it's looking increasingly likely. Alright, so here we go. SVG and, he's on the back bumper. Okay, SVG on the back bumper of Allgaier. Zilich has made his way all the way up to 5th here. I think if you're Zilich, you got to be looking to pit before the end of this stage. AJ Allmendinger makes the decision to go down to the pit road. SVG also coming down to the pits. Let's see. Zilich stays on the racetrack one more lap. I think Zilich probably should have been on pit road that time but he opts to stay out here to collect what little value a 4th place stage finish has. Alright, so the answer is definitely not Kyle Busch. so here we go. Off the corner. Again, we've taken 2 laps to go, so now nobody can pit here. Byron stayed out, and he has trapped everybody on the track. And here we go. Connorzilisch looking for third here. He's going to try and fight it out for third here with Sam Mayer. I would have thought maybe he worked with his teammate there in the Junior Motorsports camp since Mayer needs the points towards potentially regular season championship finish. Alright, so it's Ricky Rudd seems like a weird pick to have in here, but I don't know his average finish at Watkins Glen. I'm going to go ahead and just say AJ Allmendinger. I might get it wrong. Nope, I got it right. There we go. AJ Allmendinger is the right answer. Let's go. Alright, so we got the answer to the trivia question right, which means we get another 10 bonus points there. And we got William Byron versus Ty Gibbs fighting for the stage win, but there's really no fight going on as Ty Gibbs has fallen now 4 seconds back of the leader. And now Zilisch is on the charge. The question is, can Zilisch catch Gibbs by the end of the lap? It's not terribly close, but again, Gibbs has just been losing time everywhere. Not going to be able to get there, though, looking at the physical gap on space. William Byron through the final 2 corners. Ty Gibbs entering the final 2 corners as well here. And it's going to be a stage win for William Byron. Stage 2 winner. William Byron, and Connorzilisch was able to get close, but not able to get it. Stage second place goes to Ty Gibbs. Third, Zilisch. Fourth will be... Oh, drag race there. Sam Mayer over Allgaier for for fourth there. Cole Custer, Riley Herbst, Austin Hill, Ryan Sieg, and Jeremy Clements. Ryan Sieg getting some much needed stage points there. Every point counts. Those 2 stage points are going to massively help him as we go through the end of this race. So there we go. So there we go. I don't think I'm in position for I don't think this race gets me a big bonus on the Xfinity Series leaderboard. No, I've already got my 20x. Let's see. Alright, well, I guess I should probably look at the rewards catalog and see what I want to do with my 7,000 points that I got. But, here we go, let's see, alright. Alright, well, I'll figure out after the stream what I want to do with those points, because we are still streaming here. Don't want to get too off track there as we completed stage number 2. Again, we have the points as they run for the in the battle for the final playoff spot, and it is a 17-point gap right now, I believe. No, sorry, that is a 13-point gap, if I'm not mistaken on my math on the side there. So, a 13-point gap between Sammy Smith and Ryan Sieg. So, 13 points. You don't want to miss that battle. That battle is going to be a fun one all the way through the end of the regular season. Let's see. Just want to confirm the points lead here. Yep, 13 points between them if Ryan Sieg finishes right where he is. And that would be, again, if he can get it down to only 30 points going into a madhouse like Bristol, I mean, that absolutely gets you a very good shot at advancing to the playoffs, which, if Ryan Sieg can go ahead and make the playoffs, that would be unbelievable. So here we go. They are coming back from commercial break. Should be getting ready for the remainder of the race. We got 42 laps left in the race as we are going to be getting ready for this one. And they're showing off the Watkins Glen downtown/harbor, it looks like. And there's the Eric Amarola in the Go Bowling number 20 car. Not sure what technical issue the 20 car might be having, but let's see. Third and fourth gear he lost? Oh my, that would be a nightmare for any kind of restarts there. Kligerman said he lost his gearing. Byron says his car's popping in and out of gears. That is not good if there is this much gear trouble at this track. The good thing is the gearbox, they're almost completely different between these and the Cup cars, so theoretically the two issues shouldn't overlap. Because that's usually one of the problems when we start to see a lot of, say, tire issues or something else going wrong in the Xfinity Series is it something that could also affect the Cup race the following day? If yes, then we get a little bit more worried. If not, then we can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. Alright, there we go. And we are all set. Let's go ahead and move. Alright, there we go. Center that just a little bit better. Especially where there's not necessarily a ton of names there. Alright. So there we go. And cars are coming on. Oh, no! One car dies out of the line to come to pit road there very last moment. But here we go. Allgaier leads a bunch of them onto pit road. I see Ryan Sieg in the mix. I see Riley Herbst. Riley Herbst hits his pit box. Nice and smooth. Gets the car jacked up on the side. Changing the tires. Zoom. Let's say, dancing around the gas man. Trying to get the tires changed as quick as possible here. Yeah. And Sieg and Allgaier have also found their pit boxes. Riley Herbst on his way out of the pits. Yeah, there we go. And the 7 car able to beat the 98 off of pit road. And the 39 of Sieg is going to get a little bit of a slow release off of pit road. And he may lose 2 spots there, I believe. So there we go. Again, that point battle between the 2 drivers for the regular season title is going to be really close here. Again, it is right now it has shrunk to an 11-point difference. Only 11 points between Ryan Sieg and Sammy Smith, and that's assuming Ryan Sieg can finish in the 7th position. Now, obviously, him finishing in the 7th position is a little bit of a assumption there. Alright, also not sure why the camera got so blurry there. Let's go ahead and refresh. There we go. And yeah, we're just chilling here. Hopefully everybody is still enjoying the stream. You know, we got ourselves a one final restart here guaranteed. And then we've got ourselves what will be about a 35-lap dash to the checkered flag. Definitely excited to see what the final 35 or so laps are going to end up looking like here. Alright, there we go. Just double checking everything, making sure we got it all set. I can probably go ahead and also touch up the points, make them look a little bit nicer. But the bigger thing is the gap. And again, that gap, the fact that that gap is only about the fact that it's going to be somewhere around a small amount of teen points, somewhere between 19 and 13 points. Oh, man, that is just so close. I can't believe it. We may actually have a really good battle for the regular season points. Which, ironically, the last time we had a good battle in regular season points, I was at Bristol for the final race of the regular season as we saw the insane slide between NASCAR Xfinity Series drivers at the time, AJ Allmendinger, and who was the other one? Austin Cindric, sliding across the start-finish line in the iconic finish there. And in fact, I believe that's still my most viewed video on the channel was the live video from the grandstands of that one. So, yep, here we go. Let's see. So again, no NFL games this week, just because tonight's Sunday night game wasn't exactly interesting to me, tomorrow night Sunday night game isn't exactly interesting to me, and the Kansas City versus the Bengals game. Oh, and we got a driver getting carted off on the golf cart, and that is number 35. Who is number 35 this week? Unsure, but he is not looking good as they pull him out of the race car. Very unsteady on his feet. Oh, man, whoever that is, he looks dehydrated and exhausted. Again, I don't know what exactly happened. Maybe a cool suit failure, but man, he looks awful. And again, hope he's okay. Let me see who it is. We're going to get the name here. Just give me a moment, guys. Let's see. Who is it? It's not a driver I recognize with the face of. No, that's why. Of course, it had to be the one driver on the list. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It is Thomas Annuzita. Thomas Annuzita. There we go. That's how we'll go with it. I have absolutely no confidence that that's how it's pronounced. Also, Sammy Smith is still on track, so theoretically, if we get a well-timed caution, Sammy Smith could end up being the free pass and being able to actually start passing some cars and maybe change up his own points battle a little bit. And if that is the case, we could end up seeing a bigger points gap going into that one. But, yep, so the thing has cycled, and let's see where we're at. Alright, Alright, so field is doubled up, and it is now a 25-point gap between Sieg and Smith here as they get lined up and ready to go. Again, Byron, Gibbs on the front row, Zilich in third here, and they are going to be... They're doubled up and ready to go racing. And here we go, SVG. Let's see. Off the final corner, the pace car pulls in, leaving the field in the hands of the two Cup Series drivers on the front row. Gibbs on the inside, Byron on the outside. Green, green, green. Green flag's out. We are back to racing. And they are going to be diving it down into this corner. And if I'm Ty Gibbs, I am absolutely sending it into this corner. I do not want to get beat off this corner for the third restart in a row. And second contact, and that's a big slide there for the 17. I don't know. Okay, I said I would send it. That may have been a touch too far there, Gibbs. I mean, I'm all for making a little bit of contact. It's that kind of secondary slide. I don't even know if he necessarily intended the secondary little kick that he ended up basically giving to the 17 as he went by, but... Yeah, regardless, that definitely put the 17 in a bad spot. He lost not just the one position of the lead, but he lost 3 other positions to Mayer, Zilich, and Cole Custer. Now, Zilich lost a spot on the restart as well, as he will fall behind... we got a spin off into the grass, or off into the sand trap, not off into the grass. That is the 7 of... Justin Allgaier and the 87 of Skeen, both going off the track there. I have no idea who Skeen is, if I'm being honest. I know he's one of the 4 Jordan Anderson racing cars this week. Which the fact that Jordan Anderson had 4 cars at the track this week, that's Mike Skeen, the other driver, and we're almost certainly going to have to throw the caution here for Justin Allgaier, as he is stuck in the not in the mud, but in the sand trap. And yep, there is the caution flag. Caution flag is out, and it is for those 2 drivers, or for the one driver that got stuck in the sand. Mike kind of managed to just drive it through the sand trap, and he ultimately was able to get to the stripe of grass. Because that's the weird way about how they have this sand trap laid out. They've got a large amount of concrete and a large amount of sand to help slow down your potential crash into a fence. But then they've got basically a car width and a half of grass at the exit. So if you do end up getting through the sand trap, you can actually drive your way through the rest of the corner to get back around. But again, for the 7 car, his problem was that he just couldn't, he is still stuck in the sand and is just not really able to do much. So there we go. And we are chilling out here. Let's see. All right, there we go. Jordan Love was just moved to doubtful for tomorrow, and almost certainly not going to play tomorrow in the game, in the Colts game. So my Colts get a little bit of an easier opponent, getting to play Green Bay without Jordan Love. But it's looking very likely that we could end up that Jordan Love could end up being the driver of choice here, or not the driver, the quarterback of choice, though, for week 3 against the Titans, which is going to be interesting. Okay, so Joey Gase has actually climbed inside the 35 car, so Thomas was sick and had to get removed from the car, and Joey Gase has actually climbed into that car and will drive it as a relief driver. So the car is not out the race, just the driver. So there we go. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and use the bathroom again real quick, and we will be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. Alright, we are back from the commercial break. We are back as well, and we are going to be, alright, a bunch of cars coming down pit road to top off on fuel. Also, potentially some drivers maybe just making a decision to pit later. Oh, wait, no, sorry. That's pit road opening for this. I thought that was people topping off on fuel, but no, these are people who potentially didn't pit at the stage break after pitting early. So they pitted before the end of the stage, got their tires heated up for those 2 laps of running in the... they got their tires heated up during those 2 laps before the green and white checkers to end stage 2. Then they went and got their tires reheated up, and this would be their 3rd heat cycle on those tires, and you don't really want to get that many heat cycles on the tires, especially if you've got fresh tires ready to go. So caution flag was flown, and Ty Gibbs, Mayer, and Zilich all up to go through the bus stop there. So there we go, yeah. So that's going to be Zilich, Gibbs, and Mayer to pit road, or to, not to pit road, but to the end of the line. End of the longest line, but why? Did they all just do it? Yeah, and they're going to all have to go to the rear of the field. Why did they do it? And I say, 3 drivers all just went and blew right through the pit stop. No consideration there. Alright, so there we go. We got that all set up. Wow, we've already had over 1,200 people tune in throughout the day. Thank you guys for everybody that has tuned in, and for everybody that is hanging out in here with us right now. But yeah, let's talk about the race tomorrow. Who do we think wins the race tomorrow? Alright, let's see. Do we think it's gonna be one of those 100 drivers? Do we think maybe we'll end up seeing a driver that we haven't seen win before in the Cup Series, or at least haven't seen him win yet this year, with SVG, AJ Allmendinger, some good bets there. Kaz Grala, a real long shot there. Definitely possible. Alright, so yeah, we are just chilling out here. Again, hopefully everybody is enjoying their day. If you guys are, of course, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new. The goal is going to be to try and hit 2,700 subscribers here by, let's say the end of the month. If we can hit 2,700 by the end of the month, that would be amazing. Again, we're sticking with the original goal of 3K, of 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I don't know if that's going to be possible. If so, that is going to require a major surge in the final throughout the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, but certainly don't think it's an impossibility the way we've been doing this. So again, they are at commercial break. We're just chilling here, reading chat. Alright, let's see. But yeah, I just wish that I had an explanation as to why the drivers did that. Because if I at least knew why they did it, maybe I could explain, like, okay, well, they figured that the tail and the longest line penalty wasn't as bad as the almost certain wreck if they tried to make it through that corner. But making it through that corner under caution shouldn't be that hard. It wasn't like they were on the verge of wrecking somebody or already drove in too deep. But yeah, that is just a bummer for Zilich in his first NASCAR Xfinity Series race. I believe he's a truck. I believe he won a truck race earlier this year in the number 7 Spire car, I think. Let me see. Nope, Corey Heim won the truck race at Circuit of the Americas. That's the one I thought he would won. No, he got his pole there. Alright, so there we go. So tomorrow at 3 p.m. at the same time as Watkins Glen, the Music City Grand Prix from Nashville, the season finale of the NTT IndyCar Series. That is just, I love IndyCar, but the scheduling and the amount of doubling up against NASCAR that they do is just irritating for a fan who likes to watch both. Because I can't watch both when I'm watching NASCAR. I am watching NASCAR. Joey Logano's made his way up into the top 10, though. Here we go. That's a positive. And here we go. Pulling down to the pit lane goes the pace car. Cole Custer and William Byron on the front row. And it's going to be green, green, green. Green flag's out. We are out. We are back to racing. And let's see. Again, those top 3 all getting sent to the rear for the course cutting violation there. Definitely not what you want to see. But that allows Cole Custer, William Byron, SVG to kind of compete for this lead right now, while they all try and compete to try and race back through the back of the pack here. In fact, let's go ahead and see if I can watch the kind of battle through the grid for these guys. Sam Mayer, Zilich, and Gibbs. They were in 30th place at the at that last caution point. Alright, so here we go. We got the cut line for Ryan Seed, though, at 23 points. Again, that's right about it. He's done about half the job, which the only problem is you can't rely on having this exact same kind of luck next week for your opponent, and I don't know how he is at Bristol typically, but I'd find it hard to believe that Bristol was all that good to him. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. Again, right now, Custer, Byron, Van Gisbergen, Herbst, and Smith, the top 5, and they are starting to just kind of click off these laps here. Still feels weird seeing E. Jones in the number 26 car, but that's not Eric Jones. That's Ed Jones, former IndyCar Series driver. But yeah, as of right now, though, this front 5 is started to separate themselves from the pack. And again, right now, Zilich, Ty Gibbs, and Mayer are all working their way through this field. Definitely looks like Sam Mayer has kind of gotten the edge over Zilich and Gibbs in traffic. And here we go. On the inside, we got a side-by-side battle for the lead. Side-by-side battle for the lead. It's Custer. On the inside is Byron. Byron takes the spot. Custer tries to lay back, maybe waiting for an overdrive. But instead, on the crossover move, it's not going to be much, and Custer falls into line second. So William Byron just drives up there, takes control of the position, and goes ahead and gets it. There we go. Alright, let's see again. Right now, we're just working our way through this one. Let's see. Alright, let's see. So yeah, they're showing how loose Cole Custer gets off the corners. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Alright, so again, we're closing in on the end of this Xfinity Series race here. I believe 30 laps to go that last time by. 30 laps to go. And again, right now we're this field is wide open right now as the field had to sent a bunch of guys to the tail end of the longest line there. Now Zilich has found his way all the way up to 21st for Zilich. Ty Gibbs to 25th, and Sam Mayer has made his way to 27th. So it looks like Sam Mayer may have gotten stuck in some real bad traffic. Meanwhile, Zilich has been able to clear him and really take over the lead of the cars who are running through the field. All right, and here we go. William Byron with a bold strategy call as he comes down pit road for a pit stop here with 30 laps to go. Going to be a 4-tire stop here. No surprise. Again, if you're going to be pitting for a 30-lap run, you're going to want tires by the end of that thing. So here we go. Put on the fresh set of tires. Get yourself some fuel. Here we go. So now we got the 98 of Herbst battling it out with Chandler Smith here for the podium position here, as Parker Kligerman up into the top 5. There we go. That's a name we haven't talked about a whole lot out today. Retiring from full-time driving at the end of the year. Parker Kligerman, he's going to be going on a playoff run, and maybe he could go on a Winsanity run and potentially go for the championship at the end of the season. That's definitely some pie in the sky thinking, but certainly not what I would consider impossible. And here we go. Let's see. Cole Custer now coming down pit road. Again, a lot of these drivers making their final pit stop, planning on a long green flag run to the checkers. So Custer, Chastain, Green, and Skeen all coming down pit road here. Alright, so there we go. Custer, 15-4 on the pit stop for Custer. Let's see. Chastain in the number 92. We got Green in the 32. I believe Green in the 32 will be the next off. Yep, there we go. Green in the 52 with an 18-8. Chastain with a 16.4 there pretty quick, and yeah, with Mike Skeen leaving in an 18.2. Again, Jordan Anderson Racing, I love them, but I don't know if they really have 4 competent pit crews. And oh, whoa, wait a minute, whoa. Who is that? That is Ryan Sieg, who wheel hops it in turn 1 and is now sideways in the runoff area. He's gonna, looks like we're gonna stay green, but man, Ryan Sieg cannot catch a break when he really needs his as many points as possible. Alright, again, right now we're just waiting here as Zilich is up into the top 10. Where's Gibbs up to 13th here and did not get a chance to see where the other guy was. Sam Mayer is right behind him in 14th, it looks like. Alright, so here we go. 46 points is now the difference between Sammy Smith and Ryan Sieg. That is really not good to see that kind of big lead starting to build here down the stretch. And again, if it's 46 or more, I think that is essentially a must-win next week. Alright, so again, 26 laps to go. Here comes Logano to the pits. So Joe Logano hits pit road here. And we're all working our way through this one. Let's see. Closing in on the end of the race. 26 laps to go. Alright, so again, 26 laps to go here. SVG in the has had that lead. He's got a 3-second lead now over Riley Herbst. And yeah, these drivers are starting to try and figure out where they're going to make their final stops, or if they've made their final stops. And let's say if these 3 drivers who did do the blown pit stop, if they need to come in for a gas only stop, that would be interesting to see what they end up doing. But I think there's a good chance that those guys don't need to pit at all here coming down the stretch. So we'll have to wait and see what that ends up looking like. Alright, here we go. So again, Zilich up into the top 5 now as he's just working his way up through this field. Could he potentially take the lead? We'll have to wait and see. Depends how many of them are coming to pit road and how necessary pit road is going to be. Alright, let's see. Just double checking some stuff. We're just chilling out here, waiting for the field for this to come back from commercial break, because the onboard camera plus the side-by-side makes it really hard to keep track of what's going on. But yeah, William Byron, your Stage 2 winner. He and a number of other drivers have already pit, and he is currently in 25th place. I believe he is the highest of them. Hard to really tell, considering, yeah, there we go. Let's see. And we are going to be 20 laps to go about when we get back from this commercial break. Alright, so yeah, right now we're just kind of waiting this one out. So, 20 laps to go. And, we're waiting to see if any of these other guys at the front of the field need to come for fuel or tires. It will be a curious one to see what ends up happening. So, yep. Cup Series race at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Again, we'll be back for that one. Don't you guys worry. And right now, SVG's got the best fuel position of everybody near the front. Zilic has the worst of it. So, connorzilisch will almost certainly need a pit stop for fuel, but SVG may not. SVG might have it good to the checkers. Similarly, I don't know where Herbst through Ed Jones are in terms of fuel. They are all 20, they've all been on the fuel for about 20 laps. So to make it another 20 would be a little bit of a stretch, but yeah, no. If I'm Zilic, I should be coming for pit road here soon. I'm not a fan of the idea of trying to stretch it this insanely long and basically just hoping that you can get it the right way around. Alright, there we go. Ed Jones comes to pit road. He's one of those he's one of those guys who's been on the racetrack for about 42. The last pit at lap 42. He's been on the racetrack since lap 42. So actually, never mind. Van Gisbergen is probably the one that definitely needs to pit. My bad. I was reading that completely wrong. I thought that was a list of how many laps since last pit. So here we go. Let's see. So the team is telling Mozak the team is telling Zilic that they are going to be probably 1 to 2 gallons short. Alright, so here we go again. Started first, ran first for a decent chunk of the race, got a stage win, and is now in the 4th position here for connorzilisch. Alright, so yeah, we are actually making ourselves a pretty decent performance here. Cannot complain about how this has gone so far. Alright, let's see. Hanging out around 17 viewers. Thank you guys for everybody that has stayed and hung out in the chat. Right now, though, Sammy Smith hanging on for the to keep the playoff spot here. Alright, so here we go. Again, 21 laps left in this race. And a lot of these drivers are going to be questioning themselves as to, okay, when does SVG come to pit road? When do the rest of these guys potentially either choose not to come or not to come? And if they choose not to come to pit road, when will you know for sure by? Alright, so there we go. Alright, so again, right now we're just kind of waiting this one out. 20 laps to go, and we don't really know what's going to be ultimately coming here. Alright, so yeah, again, right now, 20 laps to go, and right now SVG is listed as the race leader, but Zilic has been making his way through this field and just carving up the front of the field here. again, he's up to he's 10 seconds back of SVG right now, but again, we anticipate that will shrink as Alright, so again, right now, I'm kind of surprised. It feels like they haven't ticked off a lap there in a while. There we go. There's the lap getting ticked down. And yeah, SVG drops it down to 19 to go. 19 laps left. There's still a long way left in this race. I'm curious to see if we get another caution. What ends up happening. Because at that point, if we get a caution flag right now, Allmendinger and Amarola are both a lap down. Alright, Kligerman 88 points above the cut line. He is virtually guaranteed after this week. And then it just comes down to, again, where Ryan Sieg versus Sammy Smith ends up. Alright, let's see. So, where does Ryan Sieg end up at the end of the race? That is going to be a question here down the end. Alright. So, Connorzilisch here. 5 ARCA wins in 6 starts. In addition to a 24 Hours of Daytona win, and I believe a 12 hours at Sebring as well. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so here we go. Here comes Herbst down pit road. That moves Zilisch up to 3rd. So Connorzilisch working his way up through the field, just inching ever closer to that massive spot here. Alright, so again, right now, 18 laps to go, and we're just cruising to the end of this one. Hopefully you guys are excited. If you guys are excited for a potentially surprise ending to this race, feel free to stay tuned. Right now, SVG's leading it. I don't think he can make it. I think he's got a pit. Alright, so there we go. And here comes Parker Kligerman to the pit road out of the top 5 here. So Parker Kligerman hits pit road. That elevates Ty Gibbs up into the top 5. Alright, let's see again. Right now, a 14.5 second pit stop there for Kligerman. That's pretty good. You can't get upset with your teammate, your team for that kind of pit stop. Alright, so here we go again. Right now, 17 laps to go, and Zilisch is up to 2nd in that. Alright, let's see. Connorzilisch trying to run down everything he can for SVG. It's a 10-second gap in between 1st and 2nd place here. Alright, let's see. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? But yeah, I would love to see Kligerman win a race here in his farewell tour as an Xfinity Series driver. So here we go. William Byron in the pits. That's going to go ahead and get him his 4 tires and fuel. 14.9 second pit stop. And here comes SVG. SVG to the pit road. Shane Van Gisbergen heads down pit road. And that leaves the field in the hands of the fans in the yeah, so there we go. Connorzilisch takes over the lead. He now has the lead of the race. Thanks to Shane Van Gisbergen coming to pit road. Alright, so here we go. Let's see again. Right now, SVG pits and he's outside the top 10, outside the top 15, and he's gonna settle in, it looks like, in about 15th here as he actually settles just ahead of the 21. So yeah, right now we're working our way through this one. Not a lot going on. SVG speeding penalty. No! 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 SVG with a speeding penalty? Come on! No! We wanted to see SVG potentially compete for the win, but nope. See, right now we're just working our way through this one. Here comes Sammy Smith to pit road. Sammy Smith comes down pit road, and he is one of those drivers on the bubble. He needs a good points day. Right now he's 41 points above the cut line as they currently run, but he is going to drop points significantly here as he's on pit road. And we're just hoping for a routine stop at this point. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. So again, right now about 12-13 to go here, and we are working our way through this one. Not a lot of laps left. Zilisch has been promoted to the race lead. Sheldon Creed, a 4-second gap back to Creed. Come on, man. I gotta say, I like the fact that we're doing the side-by-side commercials, but, man, they definitely feel like the guys in control of the side-by-side camera angles need to pick better camera angles to watch the NASCAR from. Hasn't been awful, but just feels like, I mean, I remember there were a couple yellows ago where there was... Alright, let's see. Alright, so yeah, again, right now we're just working our way through this one. It's been a long day. Alright, let's see. Hopefully you guys are as excited as I am for the end of this race. Again, it should be a pretty good one as we come down the end of it. So let's see. Alright. So 17, or not 17, we're coming back with 10 laps to go here. Please, just no commercials in the final 10 laps. NASCAR, if you can do anything for me, just don't give me a commercial in the final 10 laps of the race. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. Again, right now, Zilich hanging on. The last time he pit was lap 48. We are now on lap 72. And we are, again, closing in on the end of this race. Alright, let's see. Again, right now we're working our way through this one. Where's AJ Allmendinger at? They're riding on board with Allmendinger, but I don't even know where he's placed. He's fourth. Okay, he's fourth. Okay, that's not a bad spot to be following him then. Alright, let's see. Whew. So AJ Allmendinger in fourth here. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to really quickly check and see if they've got the... if they've got a list of driver appearances yet for Bristol. Alright, let's see. Bristol, here we go. Let's see. Thursday, I'll be in town. Alright. And Kerwin and Finger on stage together. Bunch of the, Ooh, Jeffrey Earnhardt. Cool. And for Cup Series, not a lot of Cup Series names. LaJoy, Burton, Christopher Bell, there we go. Alright, and 10 laps to go here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series as Zilich has taken the 10 laps to go, and he now holds a 5.5 second lead here. Kligerman diving in deep into these corners. One of the latest braking spots I've seen in a while, and I've seen my own braking spot at this track. But yeah, Kligerman on an absolute tear here. Not sure where he's positioned in terms of on track, but he is absolutely flying in terms of off track. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. 10 to 9, 9 laps to go. And here we go. Let's see. He's coming up on the back bumper of of Austin Hill here. Austin Hill versus Parker Kligerman here. Coming down to the end of this race. It is going to be a fight for the finish. Can Kligerman... Again, Kligerman will almost certainly clinch a spot here in the NASCAR playoffs if he can just maintain about a 70 to 80 point gap between himself and the cut line after this race. Especially if Sammy Smith starts dropping some spots, which allows... Because right now, Sammy Smith being at 32 points above is really hurting Kligerman's odds. Because the biggest thing is he needs to be able to not get outpointed by Sammy Smith if there is a surprise winner at Bristol. And at the moment, we are not slated for a surprise winner anywhere. At least not that I'm aware of. And here we go. Now Cole Custer going to try and pass Austin Hill. Alright, there we go. Cole Custer gets the pass done. No real trouble there. Austin Hill is just not putting up a lot of resistance there at all. Matt Benedetto up in the top 15. There we go. Matt Benedetto. Another name we haven't really talked a whole lot about just because he hasn't done much good or bad. He's just kind of been a very quiet top 15 day. But, I mean, hey, you know what? All the credit to Benedetto. He is running a very good, very solid race. And we've always known he's a pretty good road racer. And here we go. Sheldon Creed has caught the back of Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs has a bit of nose damage from running into the back of somebody earlier. I can't remember which driver he ran into the back of. but it was one of the drivers that was leading the race. It was either, wasn't Zilich, but yeah, he ran into the back of him a couple of times. It was William Byron. Well, or William Byron was one of the drivers he ran into the back of because he couldn't find a way around him, and it was him and SVG, I think, that he ran into the back of because he was stuck behind him. And here comes Sheldon Creed to pit road. Sheldon Creed comes down pit road, 7 laps to go, and Sheldon Creed hits the pit road, and that is going to be a really late pit stop for him. I think he needed to be on pit road sooner if you were going to be pitting with any kind of hope for it. Maybe he was hanging out hoping for a caution flag, but ultimately no caution flag has come. In fact, we have only had one caution for contact all afternoon, and the caution for contact obviously was that one incident where they went spinning into the sand trap. Besides that, it's been a pretty much caution-free race. And Zilich is just putting a very old-school looking beat down on the field here. Again, Ty Gibbs doing everything he can. He is currently in the second position, but he's got next to no shot. And here we go. Let's see. And Jones up to nope, Creed to okay, come on. Just I hate it when their thing starts fidgeting around as to who is where. But just let me know who is in 4th or 5th so I can know for sure here. So Sam Mayer is up to 5th here. Jones was moves up to 4th here. Jesse Levin. Oh no, Matt DiBenedetto stopped in the Matt DiBenedetto stopped in the runoff area of the bus stop, and he is not going. How long is he going to wait there? Because the longer he waits, the better a shot we get a caution flag here could be, and I think we're going to get it. Yep, caution flag for Matt DiBenedetto. Caution flag is out, and it is almost certainly for Matt DiBenedetto. So DiBenedetto gets the caution flag, and that is going to put this race under the caution flag, and now Zilich is going to have to earn it. Because all of his wins in ARCA, ARCA's a series where you can't go to overtime. Yeah, but here in NASCAR, we have overtime, and Zilich might be about to face overtime here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So let's see. What happened to DiBenedetto? Let's see. Off to the DiBenedetto fan chat. Let's see. Matt DiBenedetto blew up the engine. Yep, there it is. I just realized, yep, I may have caused that one. Might be a dire curse moment there. But yeah, here we go. So they're getting grouped up behind the pace car, and again, I assume that we're gonna see. Yep, there we go. The pit crew is up on the wall for Zilich here. They may not. They're probably gonna be stuck in traffic if they're gonna be taking tires, especially. Now the question is, are they just putting people up on the wall to maybe make everybody else think that they're coming to the pits? So showing the late in the race last year where. Sam Mayer gets into the back bumper of, I think that was Sheldon Creed who got into the back bumper of Ty Gibbs last year. All right, so it is official. We are going to overtime. All right, let's see. So if we're going to overtime, 2-lap sprint, how do you, again, like, do you need fresh tires for only a 2-lap sprint? And is it worth it considering the track position that you are almost certainly going to lose to go ahead and make the move there? All right, here we go. Hey, Calvin, how's it going? That's messed up. He was out of harm's way. Yeah, I know. And I said it was my fault because I did go ahead and I had to be the one to go and mention, hey, look, Matt DiBenedetto's had a nice, quiet top 15 day. And, yep. Then the engine goes and just blows him up there. Yeah, he was out of harm's way, but if someone does just lock it up and miss the bus stop, we saw the top 3 drivers earlier completely miss the bus stop and come rocketing through there. If you do that and there's a car stationary there, that is absolutely, I think, a justified place to throw the caution. I mean, again, if it was an access road or something, maybe, but again, that's an area we've seen drivers today. We saw the top 3 drivers during the other caution for during the other actual caution that we've seen on the day. But, yep. Yeah, and again, it's just trying to be preventative because you know that there's a very real chance that someone goes sliding through there. So Jesse Love comes down for some fuel and tires here. Let's see, who else do we see? I see Custer. I see Austin Hill coming off pit road. So Custer, Hill. It looks like Zilich and Gibbs opted to stay on the racetrack here for this one. Again, we'll have to wait and see who's got the fuel there. Yeah, Xfinity drivers, remember, Connor Zilich is in his first ever NASCAR Xfinity Series race. Now, he's a great road racer. I'm still not exactly sure as to what caused him and the other 2 to miss the bus stop when the caution flag came out. But, all 3 of them ended up going right through the middle of the bus stop. But again, it's one of those things that you could very easily see somebody get punted going through that area, especially late in the race. And it's definitely a danger zone. And showing the Cup Series points here, you got Ty Gibbs and Brad Keselowski only separated by 1 point on the cut line. Briscoe and Truex both double digits in the negatives. Harrison Burton rolling off deep in the field. He is 16 points below the cut line. That is going to be a major concern. Kyle Larson just needs to avoid one catastrophe the remainder of the round for Kyle Larson to have a shot here. But, there we go. Alright, so we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time as we are getting ready for a exciting... we might not even be in overtime officially yet. So, let's see. Are we officially... We may be good to go here before overtime. Noah Gragson up on the pit box for Connor Zilich here. And let's see... But the lack of experience here is going to be the thing I would probably hazard a guess ends up ruining this for Zilich, and I have him picked as the race winner, which is the other thing that is going to cause him to lose this one. So here we go. Let's see. What do we got? Is this going to be lights off on the pace car? Alright, I believe that is going to be lights off on the pace car next time by. Let's see. No, lights are still on the pace car, so we are going around at least another time. And that pretty much guarantees that we will be going to. Oh, I don't know. The lights might have gone off there. But hard to see, but I would have imagined the lights would have gone off earlier if they were turning them off for this lap. And again, out of the S's is where they end up doing the choose cone here. So Sammy Smith all the way up into the top 20. So there we go. There's a good one for Sammy Smith. Looks like he'll be either 20th or 21st here on the restart. And there we go. Mike Bagley, the bag man. There we go. Gotta love having Mike Bagley at the track. And here we go. Let's see. Good on fuel, I think. I mean, based on the fact that none of the front guys came to pit road, I assume that they've done the math and they are good on fuel. They've been on the track for about 30 laps. I think fuel window is about 35, so they should be good for one, maybe two overtimes. I'd say that second overtime is where you start to question whether or not they're good on fuel. That would be the part where I would start to question it on that one. I think they're good for the first overtime. And here we go. Lights are off on the pace car, so they are going to go green this next time by. So they are going to be... we are actually avoiding overtime. But again, I think Zilich and Gibbs should be good for one overtime. The second one is where I would say you start to look at running out of fuel as a possibility. As a more realistic possibility, or pitting for the splash and dash. Alright, and here we go. Lights are off on the pace car. They are all bunched right up together, and we are ready to go racing. Zilich and Gibbs on this front row. It's going to be interesting to see what they end up doing. A lot of rumble strips out wide there to try and help keep the drivers from going as far over the edge as they normally do. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. Drivers to win in their Xfinity Series debut. Dale Earnhardt Sr., Joe Ruttman, Ricky Rudd, Terry Labonte, Kurt Busch, Ty Gibbs. The only drivers to ever win in their Xfinity Series debut. Pace car is off, leaving the field in the hands of Zilich and Gibbs. And here we go. Going into the Geico restart zone, and it is going to be green, green, green. Green flag is out. Let's see if Zilich can go ahead and get that the first win in his first start, or if he'll be foiled by the last guy to do it. And no, to the inside, it's going to be 3 wide. AJ Allmendinger tries to make it 3 wide here, and they stick it wide. No, somebody gets spun in the back. I believe that looks like might have been a William Byron getting spun around in the backfield. We'll have to wait and see exactly where that ends up shaking out. But Ty Gibbs has been absolutely neutralized here. And somebody laying down a complete plume of smoke down the backstretch. Caution flag is out. We are going to overtime. The 21 of Austin Hill completely torn up there. Josh Williams there. The number 5 of Anthony Alfredo. Honestly, that's a really cool looking paint scheme there for Anthony Alfredo, but Anthony Alfredo was the one leaving the absolute smoke bomb down the back straightaway. And now, again, we enter overtime. So let's watch this replay again and see one. Alright, there's William Byron. He's the car I think that gets spun. I'm going to try and focus on him on this one here. So here we go. Yep. Oh, somebody, SVG gets loose there, gets out of line. And yep, looks like Sammy Smith on the inside just stacks it in there 4 wide on the bottom of William Byron, and that's what ends up leading to that one. What ended up happening there with the 26? All right, so the 26 gets spun in the backfield. Again, I think they're good for the first overtime. And this is only going to be the first overtime. They were scheduled to make it to the end of the race under the originally advertised distance under that last run. again, I think you start to worry a little bit, but I don't think there's a ton of real concern until the next one. So, again, we'll have to wait and see because, again, maybe my numbers are off from what the rest of them are, but I think especially where they only ran half a lap under the green flag here, I don't think they burned up a lot of fuel. And the laps under yellow, yeah, they burn up some fuel, but they don't burn up nearly as much as a lap under caution, and they've had a lap under caution, and they've had quite a few laps under caution here at the end. And they are going to red flag the field here in turn number one, on the way into turn number 1. So they're going to red flag the field, and that is going to allow them to go ahead and clean up in turn number 1, try and get all the cars cleaned up here, and that will actually help the fuel situation because rather than continuing to circle under the yellow flag, they are going to be allowed to they'll get the opportunity to shut the cars off, cool the engines here, and that is going to give them an opportunity to start preparing here for the restart. So there we go. So now they can, now under the red flag, they can talk to their teams. They can do pretty much anything, but they just can't touch the race cars themselves. So there we go. So again, the red flag is out, and we are going to be just waiting here to see what's going to end up happening here. Alright, chilling out. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. If you guys are, of course, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new. Yeah, cooling the tires down too. Yep. Putting the tires through another heat cycle, which is always kind of the worry when it comes to the tires and the age of them, is how they will react under the heat cycles. But yeah, right now if I'm the 88, the 16, or the 19, I am on the radio basically talking with my team like, hey, let me know what our fuel situation is and try and figure out what our game plan is here for this caution flag, because if we're coming down pit road, I need to know if I need to be on full attack mode on the if I'm going to end up on full attack mode for the restart. I need to start getting in that mindset now. And if I'm going to be in the lead, I can start working on that more relaxed mindset potentially. And I think mindset is a big thing when it comes to a road course race here. So, at least that's my opinion. I'm obviously not a race car driver, but I think mindset, especially at the end of these races on the on as mentally taxing a track as a road course, I think that is a big thing there. All right, there we go. Okay, start inside or outside. If I'm first car to pick, I think I want to take instinctively you want to take the inside, and I think that the inside is the right call there. But if you have a teammate on the inside, so like, let's just hypothetical situation, let's say Junior Motorsports had a lockout on the front row. I think you potentially try and work with your teammate there, go 1 and 2, and then that way your two drivers can fight it out into the bus stop, rather than having a potentially 3 or 4 wide mess into the corner. So hypothetically, if you have a teammate there, you potentially look at the outside, but I think the inside, 9 times out of 10 you take the inside, and you try and block the move to the inside. Basically, block the move that Allmendinger went for. But again, you don't want to get driven through either, and that's going to be the big thing there, is that you don't want to end up having someone drive through you. Because if they drive through you, there's not much you can really do there. So, again, we're heading to our first overtime here of the day. I'm predicting 2 overtimes. I think we will end up getting 1 more caution, but again, that's just a prediction. Nothing it's mainly just an educated guess. But yeah, here we go. Let's see. All right. How's everybody doing? But yeah, without an exact, say if it's gonna be, because I think it's gonna be Zilich and Allmendinger on the front row now after all that was kind of shaken out throughout that first restart. And if it is those two, I think you go ahead and you try and force Allmendinger to take the outside. Now the question: does Allmendinger take the inside behind you and try and make the same move he did last time that worked for him, versus ending up on the outside? I think. Oh, here we go. They're talking to AJ Allmendinger. Let's see. What's it? I want to kind of know what AJ's gonna say actually here. So let's see. Game plan here. All right. Let's see what hope and pray. That is a great answer from AJ. I will say that one there. Okay. Yep. So yeah, just trying to get an idea as to what AJ is thinking here, and no better way to do that than read what he's saying here. Yeah, trying to decide what's better. Yeah, talking about the front row or starting inside second row potentially, because yeah, it's almost a guarantee that Zilich will probably take the inside line here. But yeah, because again, that's the other thing with taking that top side. If you can get that good jump and get clear of the inside line, you can arc the corner a little bit better from that outside line. Problem is, if people are diving it up the inside on you, you don't have the room on the bottom to go and start arcing the corner. So again, there's a lot going on with the when it comes to inside or outside, and there are definitely pros and cons to both of them. I would probably, in the heat of the moment, I would want the inside just so I can be the one kind of forcing the car on the outside, assuming that we're side by side into turn one. I can force him a little bit wider than being the driver who gets forced potentially way wide into turn one, especially if it's 3 wide on the bottom. So, again, that is just my personal opinion as to what I would do here on the restart in terms of choosing the thing. And let's go ahead and skip a round of ads for you guys. Thank you guys, by the way, for all 27 of you guys that have decided to hop in here as we are getting ready for overtime here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series race. Sam Mayer's car is at the exit of turn 1 still, so I'm curious to see if they're going to end up moving him, or if they're going to go ahead and clean that car up, or if Mayer's still in the car and potentially looking to race. If he was still planning on racing, I would have imagined that he would have already he would have caught up to the back of the field before they officially put out the red, because they stopped the field and usually wait to get the entire field together before they go ahead and throw the red, even if they are planning on putting out the red. But yeah, so again, we got the NASCAR Cup Series race tomorrow. I will be back here live for that one. Don't worry, we are gonna still be streaming the overtime. But yeah, looking forward to to tomorrow. We've got the NASCAR Cup Series race from Watkins Glen. 3 p.m. Eastern time, same time as today's race was, and yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing that one. Hey, Cucumber, how's it going? Let me go ahead and actually pull up a track map of Watkins Glen real quick, because I think that'll actually help with the thing. All right, here we go. Give me a second. We're gonna pull up this. We are going to go ahead and actually do something really cool here. Actually, give me a second. Gonna go ahead and hide away the leaderboards here. Actually, we'll go ahead and leave up the top 10. Oh, no, no, no. I'm not trying to move that. All right. And here we go. So here is the track map of Watkins Glen International. We'll go ahead and there we go. That should be enough there. All right, so trying to get my spacing as to where I am compared to it. Okay. So down over here, this here is turn 1. Then, so if you take the outside lane, you'd be on the outer edge of turn 1. Outer edge of that first curve into the S's, inside of the middle, and then outside on the exit of the S's. I don't like that, really. I again, you're on the outside of 3 corners. You get the inside lane for 1 corner, and then going into the back straightaway. And again, this one doesn't show the bus stop. I'm aware of that, but yeah, for the most part, this is serving the purpose that we're going for. We're basically talking about these corners over here. So again, into turn 1, you probably want the inside there. That gives you the inside of that initial curve into the S's, outside on that second curve, and then you're on the inside on the exit of the S's to give you the run down the back straightaway. Best I can see, I think that would be the best course of action for these drivers. If I was to go ahead and give a official recommendation, at least that's what I would say. Definitely feels weird looking at this thing with mirrors and whatnot, but yeah, that's what I would say. Because again, you want to try and be on the inside of this corner, and then again you have the inside, outside, and then inside again. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I think, and I think that the inside line is probably the best one. Again, the only reason you would choose the outside would be if you think you can beat everybody else into the corner and outbreak them from the outside and be clear going into turn. Because if you can be clear, so if you can be clear at the exit of turn 1 over here, if you can be clear there, and then you can have kind of your control over where you want to go in the S's, I think that's obviously a little bit better. But as we saw last year, and actually the replay that they just put up, Ty Gibbs almost got cleared himself down, and got run into the back of him, punted there. So that is kind of the downside to trying the strategy that I kind of pointed out there, is trying to go for that. So it's definitely, it can work, but it's one of those things that definitely I would have some initial questions about. So yeah, at least based on that, again, then you would also have the inside edge to going into the on the entrance to the bus stop, which would be the other thing, because again, this layout doesn't have the bus stop, but the bus stop would be down here, and having the inside line on that, on the entrance to that, and having the inside line on exit of the bus stop going into that big sweeping corner way over here. That's a big factor. Also, NASCAR uses that little grayed out, the gray short chute there, not the full-on boot layout that the World Endurance Championship uses, just for some clarification for anyone whose primary form of motorsports that they like to watch happens to be something other than NASCAR. Couple of the key differences there. But yeah, so we're just kind of waiting to see where this red flag ultimately leaves them. Talking with looks like Sam Mayer's crew chief, I think. It's definitely a Sam Mayer crew shirt. Just don't know who he is, because they don't have the little tag on the screen showing exactly who he is. I'm guessing crew chief or car chief there. But yeah, so that should be everything there, and let's go ahead and put the other image back up, because I think that should be all. If we end up needing to bring it back up, I can go ahead and bring the image back up. Alright, so there we go. So there we go. And yeah, looks like they might be going to another commercial break here before we go back racing. So it might be a few minutes. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this has definitely been a longer than average red flag off. Trying to make sure they get everything cleaned up so that we can go green next time by. Again, I don't mind that idea. But yeah, it's just a lot of filler time to try and fill in here for the TV, and apparently they're filling it in by showing fans fighting. Some fans fighting, some fans doing a little dance up in the grandstands, but yeah, again, we are still under the red flag for anyone who's just joining us. We are heading into the first overtime period here of the race. But yeah. And actually, I don't think they have actually opened up pit road yet, so I don't think they so I think they have to do at least one loop around to open pit road before they can go ahead and throw the green. But yeah. So there we go. That should be everything there. And we are, again, getting ready for a run to the checkered. It's going to be a 2-lap restart here at the end. Alright, so there we go. We got everything going on here. And yeah, there we go. They're talking about the schedule for tomorrow. Again, the Sunday schedule of the race being at 3 p.m. We'll be live here for that one. Okay, here we go. While you're waiting. No, I'm good. I got myself I got my chocolate milk right here. If you can grab me another chocolate milk, that'd be great, though. But yeah. Once again, I'll mention this for anyone who happens to be a returning viewer or just interested in other content on the channel. Yeah, there's I can pretty much guarantee that there will be a little bit of a drought of content in the early part of this week. One, I haven't pre-recorded anything for the channel, mainly because it's hard to pre-record sports news. There'll probably be there might be a Cup Series recap episode that'll go up Monday. But yeah, again, I don't know for sure. I'm gonna be in a car on Monday and Tuesday driving down to Bristol. I'm gonna be spending the week in Bristol, so definitely Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Expect some content there. But again, it's one of those things. It's just gonna be a question mark as to when stuff gets uploaded because of being actually at the track. So Sam Mayer is still in his car despite being parked in turn 1. So he's going to have some time to have to try and catch back up to the field. But yeah, so Sam Mayer is still in his car though. That is parked over in turn 1. And there we go. Let's see. So yeah, not going to be streaming any of the NFL games this week, mainly just because the primetime games kind of aren't great. And I'm going to be in a car by the time Sunday night football, or not Sunday night football, by the time Monday night football happens, I will be in a car on my way to the track, so there we go. Alright, there we go. we go. And say, if I knew for sure, like when it comes to rain delays and stuff, if I knew for sure that the red flag was going to be another 25, 30 minutes, I'd pop up the Nintendo Switch and just start playing some Pokemon, but there we go. Oh man, something that helps support the sponsors. Hey, there was a Nesquik car in the Xfinity series a couple years ago for a throwback. There was definitely a Nesquik car there. But also, I'm sure there's been another chocolate milk or another milk sponsor at some point. But I definitely remember a Nesquik number 10 car for Throwback Weekend a couple years ago. But yep, there we go. So yeah, we're just chilling out here again. Thank you guys to all 30 of you guys that are hanging out in the chat. We are just under this red flag and hoping to be back racing here soon. And hey, if you want to talk about supporting a sponsor, I also got body energies around. I just the ones I've got right here are empty, and I was already having the chocolate milk before the race got done. So there we go. Yep. So Haley Deegan. Yeah. So the leaderboard right now is definitely not accurate. Whenever they're under caution and especially under the red flag, the leaderboard on the app gets messed up from time to time. Yep. There we go. Nestle. Yeah. Nestle on the sponsorship there, but yeah. So Logano, Haley Deegan, and AM Racing, they separated back in late June, early July. They separated. Haley Deegan is no longer a part of that team, and they've been having a flurry of drivers between Joey Logano, Josh Berry. I think Kyle Weatherman has jumped into that car a couple of times. Yep. So yeah, so it's pretty common. Like at one point, I think I remember seeing JJ Yaley lead laps last week in on the app at Daytona or at Atlanta. I mean, last week, and I was pretty confident that wasn't a thing. Oh, and there we go. The throwback to AJ Allmendinger winning in the 2014 Cup Series race here at the Glen. There we go. Love that little bit of a throwback. But, yeah. Is she back in the truck? She has not been in anything in NASCAR since June, as far as I know. In fact, she was actually at the Iowa doubleheader late was that June or July that the Iowa doubleheader was for IndyCar? But she was at that race while NASCAR was in Pocono. Well, let's see. It was July, so yeah. So yeah, during the that race, 2014 before the drug BS. Didn't the drug stuff for AJ Allmendinger with the Adderall stuff, didn't that happen in like 2011, 2012? But yeah, again, Haley Deegan, hoping to see her back in a car or truck next year. Because, I mean, getting removed midway through your first season definitely isn't a great way to build on anything from this current season. But it's not something that you can necessarily blame them for. I mean, they weren't making a ton of progress at the time. And I think that team really needs some consistent performance, especially if you can get consistent performance from some of the best in the entire series. I mean, like, for example, they were scheduled to start top 10 at they're not going to take a charter away from Michael Jordan. Who said that they were? But yeah, AM Racing though definitely needed some good finishes from some of the top drivers there that they could get to punt. Yeah, in 2012 he was suspended. Yeah, hey, I was pretty accurate on that. I thought the drug stuff was back in 20 was around 2012 because I remember watching him in the 2011 Indianapolis 500, driving for Penske at the time. But yeah, no, Michael Jordan. They've got two charters right now. I'm not sure if they are gonna end up getting a third charter though. That's kind of the biggest question mark right now is whether or not they end up buying a third charter for Michael Jordan or if Roush Fenway Keselowski ends up getting the third charter. Because as of right now, those two charters are up there. Oh, you're talking about the 2311 not signing the thing at the deadline. I mean, it was a self imposed deadline by NASCAR. Yeah, it's not great that they didn't. It wasn't great that they didn't sign it, but I also wouldn't say that it's a guarantee that the Michael Jordan charters are gonna go away. Again, we'll have to wait and see. It's probably gonna end up being something that ends up getting figured out in the off season when they aren't having to worry about running for a championship, considering the fact that Reddick's going for the title there. Let's see. I'm missing this race. Weekend at her track and go to the Roval. Yep. All right, so you guys are heading down to the Roval. I was there last year at the Charlotte Roval. Got to see AJ Allmendinger take home the victory there. Man, Charlotte is such a fun track to go and watch at. I will say though, when it comes to the Roval, it's a little, and that this is something that's gonna be the case with almost any road course, is that you just can't see the full track. Now, obviously, Charlotte's a bit better than the average track because it is an oval, and pit road is open, and cars are coming down pit road, but Zilich stays out to. Dinger won on her birthday. All right, cool. Ding, ding, ding. Dinger gets the win. There we go. And now it's Zilich, Allmendinger, Mayer is the top three. Okay, let's see it. I mean, realistically, and this has been something I've said about the contract negotiations, I think both sides really should have been pushing to have this conversation done. Yeah, almost any road course, you absolutely can't see the whole thing from the grandstands. The Roval again is better than most because you can because theoretically you can see the back straight away for the NASCAR Oval. It's just the infield where you might have trouble keeping an eye on the cars when they get to the infield road course. Also, before you guys go to the Roval, don't forget to check out the new layout because they are actually changing up the layout of the Roval for next month. So, yeah, the Roval's got a little bit of a new layout, so might be something else to keep an eye on. There's another hairpin turn added in, so just something to keep an eye on. And yeah, we should be seeing the doubling up of the field as they exit the bus stop here. But I mean, yeah, I actually quite like. I actually like the Charlotte road course significantly better than the Indy road course. Mainly just because the Charlotte Oval still kept one date. With, I wouldn't mind an idea of like, okay, running Indy road course separate from there, and oh, here we go, Dinger to the inside. AJ Allmendinger gonna take the inside line behind Zilich, allowing Mayer to advance to the front row. Ty Gibbs also lines up in the second row there. Chandler Smith and Sheldon Creed making up row number 3. Smith on the inside, Creed on the outside. So you got two Gibbs drivers on that outside working together. So some bit of a storyline here. Allmendinger gonna try that diving move up the inside, the same move he made last time that almost got him the lead. But Yeah, I mean that was kind of the biggest thing for me was I just didn't like the fact that we were losing the iconic Indy Oval in favor of the road course. If it was just an additional race on the schedule, I still might have had some hesitation to doing two races at the same track, adding a second race to Indy versus a lot of other tracks in the area that we could go to. But here we go. Let's see. So yeah, Sam Mayer on the outside, yeah, Zilich on the inside. I, honestly, I mean, I know I picked Zilich to win, but I'm actually kind of rooting for AJ Allmendinger here to make this one work. Here we go. Pace cars off, leaving the field in the hands of Sam Mayer and Connor Zilich here as they come down to the green flag. And it is going to be green, green, green. Green flag's out. We are back to racing. And here we go. Down into turn number one. One car way off the pace. That's Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs is out of gas. It appears like Ty Gibbs is out of gas. Allmendinger, no real attempt to make the same move that he made last time. Not sure if he just didn't get the same kind of restart he did last time, but yeah, he was way off the pace in terms of trying to get to that inside. And yeah, here we go. Ty Gibbs slowly rolling here, and he might get stopped on track, and this would bring us to our second overtime, and that would be the time where I said everybody would be starting to worry about fuel. I did not realize that Ty Gibbs was going to be short on it, and yeah, we're going to definitely see another yellow flag here. And oh, we got a big crash on the other screen. Yeah, Mike Skeet there is out, or Skeen. Mike Skeen is out of the race. A big crash there in the bus stop. And we are going to another overtime. And yep, this is the one where I say fuel starts to become a concern. Do you come down pit road? That starts to become a question. Do you pit or do you stay out and risk running out? I think Zilich absolutely needs to be on pit road this next time by because yeah, he pitted same lap as Ty Gibbs, and Ty Gibbs just ran out. So you can't really. It's hard to see how Ty Gibbs running out doesn't scare Zilich into pitting here. And oh wow, Brandon Jones just got punted through the grass. And then as he was coming back on the track, Mike Skeen there and just any attempt to try and avoid the spinning number 9 car. Tried to actually go to the inside of it because, well, he wasn't going to be able to, he couldn't go to the outside edge, and he ends up with a completely busted front end. And that's another Jordan Anderson racing car, too, which is a big bummer. So there we go. Tires jacked. I mean, again, it's another heat cycle. You never want to do that, but the front three are on 37 laps of running without coming to pit road. I think all three of them pit, and this race just fell into the lap of Shane Van Gisbergen, Chandler Smith, and Sheldon Creed. Those three drivers, I think, have enough fuel for at least one, maybe two more restarts here. And as long as we don't get another 2 restarts of running out, I think those guys should be good. So the guys who need to pit here under this caution, Zilich, Mayer, Allmendinger, and Jeremy Clements back in 15th is also... Yeah, he pit the same lap that Zilich and Mayer did. He just hasn't had nearly the success that he did. So that's 4 drivers pitting. So that's going to move Shane Van Gisbergen to first, Chandler Smith to second, third to Creed, and Parker Kligerman up into fourth, and Ross Chastain going to round out your top 5 probably for this restart. Again, assuming that I'm right about who's going to pit here. Yeah, you can't really afford to lose track position, but if you stay out and run out on track, I mean, look at Ty Gibbs, because Ty Gibbs is also on this list. He pit at lap 37 as well, but he ran out of gas into turn 1, and there was no way he was getting back. He was going to be able to clutch and coast it around. He's now getting pushed back to the pits by the tow truck. So do you really want to end up in that position if you're one of those drivers on the verge of running out? I wouldn't want to put a driver in that situation. All right, let's see. Just checking here. Let's see. No fuel. I mean tires. What do you mean by that? I mean, yeah, I could definitely see some of these guys maybe doing a splash and go, but I think that decision is going to be a game time decision based uh, on who has on how many cars come down pit road. Because if it's only 4 cars on pit road, I think you take 4 tires and try and run through the field as best you can. Now, if you somehow draw 8, 9, 10 cars to pit road, if you manage to draw, say, a third of the field to pit road by the leaders coming to pit road, then I think you start making the case of, okay, now you splash and go to try and avoid losing 8, 9, 10 spots to the rest of those guys who might be going fuel only. But if I'm one of these drivers, and let's say there are only the 4 names that I mentioned coming to pit road, maybe add 1 or 2. If it's somewhere between 4 to 7 drivers on pit road, yeah, I think you go. I think you take the tires at that point. It really just kind of comes down to, and it's a decision that you make in the moment as to, okay, how many drivers are actually coming down the pit road or not. So, there we go. Well, again, we are just working our way through this one. So, this is going to be one of our bigger streams of the year. I believe, what is this, going to be top 2, top 3 most viewed stream of the year so far? Let's see. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be 3rd or 4th on most viewed streams of the year so far, which is pretty impressive because we've had a lot of people hanging out in here all afternoon. Thank you guys, by the way, for everybody that has stayed throughout the entire stream, or for anyone who's just popping in now. Definitely thank you guys for everybody that has spent any portion of your afternoon here with me, as we are going to be getting ready for a restart as they come back from the commercial break. And let's see. We got the they got the Watkins Glen. They got a big white painted school bus out there with a observation deck on it. And here we go. Watching the leaders again. First 3 I expect to pit. Then it's going to be the question of, okay, who else comes to pit road here? Because if I see the first 3 pit and I know I'm close, I don't know. Again, it depends on how many cars, because taking that lead by just staying out is very tempting, and I would probably be tempted to take that if I'm, say, the 5th car in line. But if I'm going to only get 2nd place, again, can still race for it. But, yeah, that's one of those things where it just kind of comes down to your level of risk-takingness and whether you think a 2nd or a 3rd place is worth staying out, or if you think basically punting it for the win is more valuable. I think only those 4 names are the guys I think come to pit road, because really, if you're one of these other guys who are close but not that close, I think you just stay out for one more restart and just hope that you maybe get it done in this 2nd overtime. Again, it really is just kind of a guessing game for the most part. If you tell me on Monday, or on Sunday in this case, how many overtimes we're going to have, I'll tell you what strategy you wanted to be on. And yep, looks like we have cars on pit road, but not very many of them. Jeremy Clemens comes to pit road, but the Zilich, Mayer, and Allmendinger are all staying out on track. I don't know what they know that I don't. I mean, granted, Joey Logano threw all ideas of fuel mileage out the window at Nashville earlier this year when he managed to stretch his fuel longer than anyone anticipated possible. Alright, well, here we go. And again, they are definitely getting ready for an exciting finish here, that's for sure. Alright, there we go. So yeah, we are just pacing around here. Believe we should be getting doubled up here on the back straightaway this time by, so should be getting ready for this one. So we're going to get to see another restart. I think we're going to see some guys running out of fuel on this one. Alright, let's see. Alright, so Connorzilisch was told over the radio to be professional with the way that they end this race because they're, and quoting how there's just no respect in the way that we finish these races these days. I mean, accurate. Guilty as pretty much charged for the entire field because I don't think there's a single driver out here who hasn't made a questionable to dirty move late in these races at some point. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to try and find a single driver in the field who hasn't made, again, at least a questionable move. Maybe not a guaranteed dirty move, but a questionable one. So, do we think this is our final overtime, guys? I'm certainly hoping so. Let's see, notifications. Let's see. Just checking Twitter to see if I can get any more radio insight from other people who are listening into some of the radios. Let's see. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. They have not doubled up yet, so we are still going around for another time here. Yeah, flip it off and try and save a couple ounces. Yep. Yeah, that is, I mean, that's pretty much your only way to do this. But again, at this point, you are going to be severely short on fuel. Again, Zilisch, Mayer, Allmendinger, those three drivers all pit at the exact same lap that Ty Gibbs did, and Ty Gibbs ran out on the last overtime attempt. So, I mean, clearly these guys have saved a little bit more fuel, been in a little bit more of a fuel save mode, maybe a little bit sooner than Ty Gibbs was. But the question is how much earlier, because you're still going to be close on that one, regardless. But, here we go, let's see. But yeah, I mean, I've said it a couple of times now. When it comes to the overtime, I would like it to be a 3-attempt thing. So you get your first attempt at overtime, you get your second attempt at overtime, and then you, if you can't get it within 3 attempts, I think you just call it because clearly the drivers are just wrecking all over the place at that point. I think that gives you enough of a chance to avoid avoid ending the race under yellow, while minimizing the amount you look like a joke from. Oh, we're in our 20th overtime, and here we go. The Connorzilisch trying to draft off the pace car. Connorzilisch is trying to draft off the pace car, trying to get the pace car to take some of that clean air away so that he can just ride behind it and draft. That's a way to save some fuel. There we go. Hey, we like creativity here. Absolutely love some good old-fashioned creativity here. And again, I'm expecting we should be doubling up this time by. So again, this race now has gone the full Cup Series distance at this point, or will have if they get to the finish at this point. So all these NASCAR Xfinity Series drivers will now have gone a full Cup distance. That is concerning, considering the fact that this is a Xfinity Series race. So Zilisch to the inside, Mayer to the outside. Allmendinger takes inside second row again. Chandler Smith also choosing to take the inside row versus moving up a row, allowing SVG to take that second spot in the outside line. And then row 4 is Kligerman on the inside and Chastain on the outside. Herbst and Love will make up row number 5. I mean, quite literally, yeah, what does it hurt to draft off the pace car? And legitimately every molecule of fuel matters pretty much at this point. Because if you can make it, because you can't, this is not a kind of track that you can just clutch and coast it at, because you have such a long track that you have to do it at, and you've got guys right on your bumper. SVG does not need to save fuel. Chandler Smith does not need to save fuel. Sheldon Creed, I don't think needs to save fuel. So those 3 drivers are right on your tail, and they don't need a save, so you can't clutch and coast pretty much any of it. You need to be running hard. And here we go. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of Zilich and Mayer here as we get ready to go. Green, green, green. It's going to be green flags out. We are racing here once again at Watkins Glen. AJ Allmendinger once again pulling out of line, but not getting the kind of run he needs to make that move up the inside as efficiently as he did the first time. And somebody's way off course in turn 1. We're still green for the moment. SVG banging his way up through the middle. 3 wide. There goes SVG looking up the middle. And as of right now, you've got AJ Allmendinger trying to fight with SVG. These two are teammates, fighting their way all the way down into down into the bus stop here. SVG into the bus stop, crosses himself over the nose of the car, and AJ Allmendinger gonna fight back for second as Justin Allgaier gets run over. And there we go. Allmendinger gets punted just a little bit here, and that's going to allow SVG, Chandler Smith, and Sheldon Creed to all try and run right by Allmendinger. Allmendinger, though, with the inside line on this corner here. SVG versus Chandler Smith. Those two fighting could be the thing that gives Zilich the lead and the amount of cushion that he needs to be able to win this thing. Spin off the final corner. It's Mayer. Sam Mayer spins and is now blocking the pit lane. I am amazed that we have not had a caution flag yet. The white flag has been taken and no yellow in sight. So Connor Zilich through turn 1 has about a 3-second lead over Sheldon Creed at the moment. Creed has the fuel though. Zilich in question here as to whether or not he can make the fuel mileage. We're going to have to wait and see. Allmendinger still hanging on in the 3rd position here, fighting with Sheldon Creed, and another big spin here for and that's going to be multiple cars. Yellow flag, yellow, yellow, yellow. Yep, there it is. Big crash behind the leaders, and that is going to allow Connor Zilich to clutch and coast as he appears to potentially be out of fuel here, coming down the short chute. The 18 of Sheldon Creed right alongside, gonna try and make the argument that, hey, if he drops below a worthy pace speed, Zilich may not end up being the winner. But as of right now, it looks like Zilich, he's gonna clutch, he's gonna coast, he's gonna try and coast it as far as he can, and off the final corner, as long as Zilich maintains speed down this front straightaway, he will be your winner. And it is going to be Connor Zilich winning in his Xfinity Series debut here in Watkins Glen, New York. There we go. Yep, yellow and checkered. Yellow and checkered flags are out as because the caution flag came out after they already took the white flag. The race does end under the caution flag. You are still required, though, to make it back around to the checkers while maintaining caution pace. So there we go. Good job, Connor Zilich. Massive congratulations to you on that fuel save. He must have been saving much earlier there, and yeah, the race is definitely over here. But yeah, you've got to have been saving that one from much earlier on. And Ryan Sieg, one of the victims of the last lap crash. Ryan Sieg, one of the drivers who absolutely could not afford to lose spots in points here. Let's go ahead and center that a little bit better on the. Actually, it's not even on the on-screen graphic, but yeah, Ryan Sieg getting wrecked out of this race. He is essentially a must-win at Bristol. So, Sammy Smith will be in the playoffs, barring a new winner at Bristol later this next week. But the NASCAR Xfinity Series field is pretty much set. And Connor Zilisch, the second driver in recent years to win in their Xfinity Series debut. And Connor Zilisch doing it at a road course similar to Ty Gibbs before him, who also won at the Daytona road course in his Xfinity Series debut. And yeah, so it was Jesse Love who spun out Riley Herbst there, leading to the massive mayhem behind. Let's see. Gonna try and see who all was involved. Actually, no, sorry, I misspoke. That was Ryan Sieg who took out the 98. Sorry, Ryan Sieg took out the 98, not Jesse Love. Jesse Love just happened to be right behind them at the time. And there we go, yeah, just cars everywhere, trying to identify any of them. Austin Green, one of the cars involved. Brennan Poole involved. Jeremy Clements involved. A lot of cars involved in that absolute mayhem across the line. But again, Connor Zilisch climbs out of his car victorious, getting the win in his Xfinity Series debut. Yeah, I would almost anticipate seeing him in a full-time Xfinity Series ride next year. Again, he's got a development deal with Trackhouse, so common sense would be that maybe if Colleague has an extra car next year, I would anticipate that maybe he would essentially inherit the 97 crew. He wouldn't inherit the 97 number, but he would inherit the 97 crew. Or maybe Trackhouse works out a deal with Junior Motorsports to get him in this number 88 car full time. One of those two things I think is possible. Again, we'll have to wait and see what the ends up happening, but he should be driving Xfinity Series cars full time next year, though. Yes, I am definitely doing this tomorrow, 3 p.m. For the Cup race. I will definitely be here. Don't you worry. I might be a little late to the stream again, like I was today, because of getting home from work late. But just as per usual, though, if any of you guys are sticking around, I am going to go through the full unofficial finishing order from the website. Again, almost all these positions are potentially subject to change based on timing and scoring later as they finalize it. But again, Connor Zilisch is your winner. And again, if you guys only came for the reaction, thank you guys. And again, we will be back tomorrow for the Cup Series race. So here we go. Let's go ahead and go through the full rundown. Here we go. So again, Connor Zilisch winning the race. That one we are almost certain of. Sheldon Creed coming home second. Third will be AJ Allmendinger. Some great days for them. Allmendinger, an amazing fuel save there to the end. Sheldon Creed, another runner-up finish before he gets his first win. When is that kid going to win at this point? He's gotten another runner-up finish. Parker Kligerman comes home fourth place in his final Watkins Glen race, or at least his final full-time season here. And then Chandler Smith rounds out your top 5 finishers. Shane Van Gisbergen, the guy I thought might be in the catbird seat there after he ran his way up through the middle there. He ends up coming home in the 6th position. 7th for Ross Chastain. 8th place goes to Jesse Love. 9th place, Joey Logano. There we go. Good top 10 finish there for Joey Logano. And Josh Bilicki comes home in the 10th position driving that number 91 car. William Byron going to be in the 11th position here today after what looked like he got punted, I believe, on the second to last caution flag. Parker Retzloff in the 12th position. Not a bad day for him. Again, he's going to need a win at Bristol if he wants to be a part of the playoffs. But, hey, a nice solid first season here for Parker Retzloff. Then you got Ryan Ellis in the 43 coming home 13th. Austin Green going to be scored in the 14th position at the finish, although we know he did not make it back around. Justin Allgaier, another driver who did not make it all back around, but he's going to round out our top 15 finishers here tonight. A 43-point gap is the difference for Ryan Sieg going into it. So Parker Kligerman should be locked in on points. They're saying not. They're saying Parker Kligerman isn't clinched on points. Okay, Allmendinger and Creed are locked in on points. They're saying Parker Kligerman is not guaranteed in on points. And, yeah, basically, barring a new winner, we know who the Xfinity Series playoff field is going to be. So, 16th place goes to Leland Honeyman Jr., 17th, Riley Herbst, 18th, Jeremy Clements, and 19th goes Sammy Smith, and Sam Mayer rounds out your top 20. Cole Custer in 21st is the last car that at least started the final lap, I believe. Oh, no, wait, no, there's a couple more cars here. So, Cole Custer 21st, 22nd will be Ryan Sieg, 23rd, Brennan Poole, and 24th will be Ed Jones, and that rounds out your lead lap finishers, or lead lap, the guys who took the white flag at least. Ty Gibbs ends up finishing the race in 25th place, 1 lap behind the race. Eric Almirola comes home 2 laps down in the number 20 car, coming home 26th. R.C. Anderson comes home in the 27th position, driving the number 14 car for SS Greenlight Racing. Brandon Jones in the Junior Motorsports number 9 comes home 6 laps off the pace in 28th place. Joey Gase driving in relief for Thomas Anuzata, or however you want to pronounce that name, also 6 laps off the pace in 29th place. Mike Skeen comes home 7 laps off the pace after his unfortunate run into the number 9 car of Brandon Jones. He rounds out your top 30 finishers. Then you've got Jeb Burton, another one of the Jordan Anderson Racing cars. Another Jordan Anderson Racing car torn up today. Comes home 9 laps off the pace in 31st. 32nd for Josh Williams, the colleague racing driver who has had no bright spots really on the season and has been playing second fiddle to the Allmendinger and SVG show all season. He comes home 10 laps off the pace in 32nd. 33rd goes Austin Hill, also 10 laps off the pace. Anthony Alfredo, 10 laps off the pace as well in 34th place, as he will be looking for a win and in at Bristol next week. Otherwise, he will miss the playoffs. Matt DiBenedetto comes home 15 laps off the pace in the number 38 Viking Motorsports Ford. Again, coming home 35th place there for Matty D. Alon Day had a short day here today as he comes home 33 laps shy of the checkered flag in 36th place. Kyle Sieg comes home 37th place, 36 laps off the pace, driving that number 28 car. And Kyle Weatherman, the final driver on the lead lap, or the final driver in the race, comes home 38th place, 75 laps off the field, driving the number 36 car. And that rounds out your field here for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race here from Watkins Glen. They're about to go watch some Supercross. I'm gonna go ahead and catch up on some college football, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy this stream, again, I will be back tomorrow for the NASCAR Cup Series race, and I will see you guys in the next video. Live stream, whatever you guys decide to do with the rest of your night. Have a great night, everybody, and goodbye!